Welcome back, Ute fans, to another edition of the Weekly Catch-Up with Utah head lacrosse coach Brian Holman. Coach, before we get going, let's kind of recap last week and what you thought your team did well and what you need to improve on heading into this week.
Absolutely. And before we get going, John, I just want to wish the men's hoops team good luck down there in Vegas. Going to get a big win today against the Trojans. So, last week, well, I thought what we did well. Let's start on the good side of the ball. I thought our defense really did a good job. Holding a team like Jacksonville, I think they're averaging close to 13 goals a game to 8. And when you look at the film, that could have easily been 6 if we were just buttoned up a little bit. So I thought our defense really played well. Ryland, our close D, Joey, and Danny all did a nice job along with our hybrids. So, and our goalkeeping, I think we were close to 60%. I don't know the exact number. So all in all, that was a good day. The not so good part was obviously our offense struggled. I thought we got intimidated, to be quite honest with you. And that really hasn't happened to us since we've been out here, but it's just the way some of these games go. And Jacksonville, played with a huge chip on their shoulder, similar to the way we played them last year. And I think it was a great learning lesson for our guys that, nobody wants to lose to Utah. I mean, we're still the new kid on the block. We're still a team that's, a brand new program. And we went down to Jacksonville and we got after them pretty good. So, when you beat a team like that, they have a lot of pride, and they came up here, John. I thought that played as hard a game as I've seen anybody play all year, and I don't think we responded well to that, and that's a team issue all the way around. So, we got back to work this week. We recognized the areas where we need to get better and we need to be tougher at, and it was probably the only game since I've been coaching out here where we got really out-toughed. And I don't think any of our guys liked that, and they certainly didn't like what they saw on the film. So back to work, getting ready for Westminster, program that Division II school in town, and we've played every year since we've been out here. My first couple of years here as a coach in our club program, Westminster was the big bully in town, man. They knocked us all around, and I thought it was great for our guys to go through that. And I know they're going to come here with a chip on their shoulder as well and try to prove to a lot of our guys that they can play with us. So we need to be ready, and we will, and we respect them. Coach Goodhand's no longer there, but Mason's been around the game a long time, and Joe's taken over the program, and we have a lot of respect for them, and, they're our neighbors. So our focus right now is on getting better, getting back to the Utah roots of toughness and hard play and see what we can come up with on Saturday.
Coach, we talk about pretty much basically every week, I think, what your team has to learn from either a win or a loss and how they apply that for the next game. How do you think your guys are going to respond with the things they need to work on that you mentioned?
I don't know. That's the $24 million question. My gut tells me they're going to respond really well because our guys have a lot of pride and I have a lot of pride. Our staff has a lot of pride. And when you really watch that film close on Saturday from Jacksonville, we got taken out to the woodshed. So, if you're any kind of competitor, which we believe we are, I believe they're going to respond well. And what I mean by that is that are we going to compete? Are we going to fight? Are we going to be Utah Lacrosse? Are we going to we're going to battle for every step of the way? And I think therein lies the lesson with this team right now is, the only way we're successful is really be ourselves. Like we have to grind and fight and scrap for every single thing we get. We have nowhere near the talent that we can expect to go out on a field and just play. And I don't think it's ever going to be like that as long as I'm here. So that's going to be the lesson. Did we learn that? Can we regroup? Can we fight harder together on both sides of the field? And it wasn't just an offensive thing. I don't want to make it like our offense stunk. And it was a team thing because it happened all over the field. So yeah, that's the lesson. Did we learn it? And now can we go out in the field on Saturday and play Utah lacrosse?
All right, we'll get going with Westminster a little bit. Like you said, they're our neighbors. They're down the street. What can you tell us about them and what to expect when they come on a Crimson field?
Yeah, what I expect is what they've been built on. I mean, they'll have some big kids. They'll probably have some good kids that are a lot bigger than ours. They're going to play really, really hard. That's typically the way they've played in the past. And they're going to want to win. I mean, I just think it's going to be a game where we're going to have to go out there and respect the heck out of our opponent, which we do. Because I'll remind the guys of our first 3 years here as a club team. I mean, they whacked us around really good, and I think the only time we ever beat them was last fall. And we learned a lot from that. We learned how to fight against Westminster, and that helped us in the club arena. But so I expect their best effort. I hope they bring it, and that'll make our guys bring our best effort. And if that's the case, then the chips will fall where they may. But I'm excited to play them. We typically wouldn't do that in a normal year, but it helps both programs to get a game in town, and it gives us an additional home game. So I appreciate them helping us with that. So.
And not to look ahead, but you finished this a short little homestand with Jacksonville and Westminster, and then you get a week off to regroup and kind of reset and look over things, what you did right, what you did wrong, and how to fix things. As you said when we talked last week, how big is that going to be for you guys heading into the second half of your season?
Yeah, it's huge, John. Like, we've already started talking about it as a staff. We want to finish this week off on the right note, and then we'll give the guys a little bit of a break. We won't be practicing every day, and we're gonna try to plan, within the COVID restrictions, some more team stuff that we can do without putting anybody at risk. I think that's an important piece right now during our season, because we're technically, game wise halfway through, but we're a little bit over halfway through if you just look at the calendar. And then it's, evaluation of what are we doing well, what are we not doing well, what can we improve upon, and what do we need to scrap because it's not working for us, and it's crazy to keep working on it. And then it's a constant personnel evaluation, and we're going to do a little exercise within the team to see where they feel and where they sit right now. So it's going to be a really good time for us to reevaluate, and the guys to reevaluate, and maybe take a little bit of a step back and a breather, so we can make that last push, through the end of March, April, and through that first week of May, and see where we end up. So I'm looking forward to it, but we got a job to do this week, and we got an opponent to play on Saturday. And once that's over, then our full attention can go to Utah Lacrosse program and how do we get our players better? How do we refresh them? And how do we make adjustments for the second half that'll bode well for our guys and put them in better spots? And that's all on me and the staff to do that. So that's an exciting time, and so looking forward to it for sure.
All right, Coach. Until we see the Road Warriors again in a couple of weeks, good luck this Saturday at 1 p.m. against Westminster.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it, buddy. Take care of those hoops guys down there. Let's get a victory today against the Trojans. So go Utes. Thank you.